none, I'd like to call the Muskegon County Full Board of Commissioners to order. First, I would like to ask Commissioner Mahoney to lead us in a prayer.
Commissioner Mahoney, you're muted.
Well, the Lord heard me the first time, but let's pray. Lord, please give your humble servants wisdom to make decisions on behalf of the residents of Muskegon County to improve their lives. These are troubling times nationally, but Muskegon County folks have faced local issues with reasonable responses and help the commissioners follow their example. Lord, as we deliberate and make decisions for the benefit of the residents, please let us rely on your guidance and not let personal views obscure the cooperation necessary to make Muskegon County a great place to live, work, and play. And as always, we ask that you watch over those who protect us both here and abroad. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner Mahoney. And Commissioner Nash, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Commissioner Foster, would you go ahead and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Foster.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Vice Chair Foster,
Here.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Here.
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
Here.
Thank you. Chairman Hughes,
Here.
Commissioner Laring,
Here.
Commissioner Mahoney,
Here.
Commissioner Nash,
Here.
Commissioner Skolnick,
Here.
Commissioner Snyder,
Here.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Here.
9 present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We have a quorum. Next, I will entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Still on the screen.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Mahoney,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Vice Chair Foster,
Yes.
Chairman Hughes.
Yes,
9 yes.
and that motion carries. Next on our agenda is approval of the minutes of June 23rd, 2020.
So
Do I-
moved.
Motion, motion by Commissioner Wilkins, second by Commissioner Hovey Wright. Any questions or concerns on the minutes? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Mahoney,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Vice Chair Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Chairman Hughes.
Yes,
9 yes.
thank you, and that motion carries. Next, we have a presentation by the Director of Public Health, Kathy Moore.
Thank you, Chairman Hughes. Just to make it quite brief, Muskegon County residents, even though our region was moved a couple of weeks ago from medium to medium high, and then last week to high, Muskegon County residents and our numbers continue to show a downward trajectory for our positivity rate. So the positivity rate is really based on the overall number of tests, the number of positive within that test. That does not mean that we have not seen an increase in cases. We have actually seen a recent increase in the number of cases. The number of cases a few weeks ago were mainly in aggregate facilities, and they were more severe cases. The number of cases as of recently have been in the 20 to 29 age group and the 30 to 39 age group. Individuals under 40 make up approximately 60% of the new cases recently. But again, those cases are not as severe as some of the previous cases that we've experienced before. The recent profile that was sent actually show, even though our number of cases continue to increase, not at a rate that some of the other contiguous counties are experiencing, and our number of recovered continues to increase as well. So very proud to report, thanks to our wonderful staff here at Public Health and our very responsible residents, that we are managing less than 200 active cases here in Muskegon County. I will pause there for questions.
Thank you, Kathy. That's really good news. Does anybody have any questions for Kathy Moore?
Madam Chair, may I?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Foster.
Kathy, I saw the memo you sent out about doing foster homes and congregate care facilities and their staff. That testing started yesterday, am I correct?
Yes, it did.
And are you feeling, or you're doing this because you figure there's more cases there, or you're convinced more cases there? And when will we see the results?
We will see the results within probably a week after testing, but that testing is being spread over 2 weeks. We are doing that so that we can start with the baseline data. The real goal is to identify positive residents and or workers, and isolate them so that we don't have this continuous spread. The benefit of doing it now is that the state issued a process where they would provide emergency medical staff to nursing homes as well as adult foster care homes within this period of time if they had positive cases and they did not have additional staff to help cover. So this was the most optimal time to issue an order and to proceed with testing. And especially at a time where our numbers are trickling down, we really don't want to have that spread continuing within those close living quarters.
Perfect. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go right ahead, Commissioner Hovey-Wright.
Yeah, what is the current status of testing of the general public, Kathy?
Well, the demand has increased due to lifting of the stay-home order and additional community spread, while the capacity has decreased. The Walmart on Henry Street is no longer offering testing. Rite Aid is offering testing, but there are some barriers to get in. Mercy Health has reduced their testing. The state of Michigan, we were working with the state. They were going to bring, they had contracted with a company to conduct brick and mortar, just walk-in testing here in the community. They canceled the contract on June 24th. They said today that they are still working on identifying a new vendor for that. I've had contacts with Mercy Health as late as today. Their vice president contacted me, seeing if we could work collaboratively to bring more test opportunities to Muskegon County. Right now, the best we can do is if individuals are symptomatic, they should contact their provider. Also, Rite Aid is an option. And Call 211 has now a contract with the state to help individuals identify the closest testing sites, and then they will also help our residents navigate the system to get registered for those sites.
Thank you.
Kathy, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I was contacted by one of our employees that had been exposed to COVID, and he contacted the health department wondering what his options were, what he was supposed to do. And are we not able to give our employees a test if they need one?
No, we are not, especially if they are asymptomatic. And
Okay.
so I can order a test for an individual that to protect the public, but not to diagnose that individual. So I've ordered several tests for JTC youth who are being intaked at the facility, but that's really to understand the status and protect the employees and the rest of the staff. They're in a congregate setting. It's a little bit different.
Thank you. Do you recommend that they quarantine for 15 days or 14 days?
If they have been exposed to a positive COVID-19 individual, I recommend that they work with the health department. We have to investigate. There's several things, like when their last point of contact was. Are they experiencing any symptoms? Do they have the ability to work remotely? There are so many questions. But so we recommend that they work with us, and then we make a recommendation after that.
All right, thank you, because it sounded like he was, whoever he talked to at the health department was unfamiliar with what he was supposed to do. So I will have him make sure he contacts you again.
Absolutely. And normally if he notify his employer, which is one of our department heads, we are on a first name basis. So normally I work with the department heads along with Kristen Wade at Human Resources, and we all jointly figure out the optimal response.
Thank you. I know that the board did make a decision on, what we would do if one of our employees came down with it. We should make sure that, Mr. Administrator, I guess I'm kind of talking to you on this. We should make sure that HR puts something out to all the employees. So if something does happen, they know what to do and where to go.
Yes, we are working on that as well. We're actually, it's on the agenda for tomorrow's director's meeting as well to
Okay, perfect.
review that once again, and we'll make sure our employees know what they should be doing.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions for Kathy Moore? I guess we are all set. Kathy, thank you very much for the update. I'm really glad to hear we have good news in our county.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.
Now we will move on to public comment on an agenda item. Do I have any members of the public who would like to have a comment?
Can we have the agenda moved up?
Yes, please.
Agenda move up. Oh, please move the agenda up.
Do I have any members of the public that would like to have a comment?
Sorry, Chris.
Yes, can you hear
Chris
me all
Kyla?
right?
Yes, Chris, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. I noticed on the agenda over the last month, 3 different times there have been resolutions on declaring racism a public health crisis. And I noted there was one mentioned by Commissioner Nash on June 23, asking what the progress was. And you had made some comment you might be working on that. So I was interested in knowing why those started showing up on the agenda and why there hasn't been some official motion or discussion during the board meetings, and if you do have any active work going on those on that idea.
Thank you, Chris. Are there any other comments? Any other comments? Any other members of the public would like to have a public comment? Seeing none, we will move on to communications. We have 4 letters of communication. You can read those now or at your leisure. They will be included in the minutes of the next meeting. Do the board have any comments on those? Seeing none, we will move on to committee reports. Courts and,
Wait.
go ahead,
Sorry, I
go ahead.
can't unmute fast enough. I was just glad to see that Eaton County is also supporting the resolution to declare racism a public health crisis. So the momentum seems to be there for that. So that's good.
Thank you, Commissioner Harvey Wright. Anyone else? Seeing none, we will move on to committee and board reports, courts and public safety. Commissioner Snyder.
Can you pull up the agenda? Can we pull up the courts and public safety agenda?
Kristen, can you pull up the courts and public safety portion of the agenda for Commissioner Snyder, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, the Courts and Public Safety Committee met on July 7th, 2020. It was recommended that I move CPS 20/7-24 through 28.
We have a-
Support.
We have a motion by Commissioner Snyder, a second by Commissioner Foster.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Excuse me,
29.
he does have through 30. I think he saw, so on this committee report, there's a 29 and 30 he probably wishes to include in his motion.
I do want to include that
okay, so
29 and 30 in addition to what I moved.
And I will continue my support.
thank you very much. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns on this? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Mahoney,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Vice Chair Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
and Chairman Hughes.
Yes,
9 yes.
thank you, Madam Clerk, and also thank you for catching that we were just about to miss one of our motions. Now,
And
Commissioner,
that completes the report of the Courts and Public Safety Committee.
thank you very much, Commissioner Snyder. Now we will move on to Human Services Committee. And that
Thank you,
will be
Madam
Commissioner
Chair.
Nash. Yes,
The Human Service Committee met on July the 7th, 2020. It was recommended and I move HS 2007-15.
we have a motion.
Support.
Do I have, who supported that?
Mahoney.
Commissioner Mahoney. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none,
Madam
Madam.
Chair, I would make one comment, and
Yes,
that is
Commissioner
that there are, I believe, 3 more other, Wayne County, I know, did pass their resolution. There's also, I believe, 3 more other counties that are due to pass theirs later this month.
Thank you very much for the information, Commissioner Nash. We are definitely on a positive trend. Anyone else? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Vice Chair Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
No.
Commissioner Mahoney,
Yes.
Chairman Hughes.
Yes,
8 yes, 1 no.
thank you very much. That motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That will conclude my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Nash. Next on our agenda is the Transportation Committee, and that will be Commissioner Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Transportation Committee met on July 2020. It was recommended TR 2007-22 through TR 2007-25.
Support.
We have a
Support.
motion by Commissioner Wilkins, second by Commissioner Foster. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Vice Chair Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Mahoney,
Yes.
Commissioner Na-
Yes.
and Chairman Hughes.
Yes,
9 yes.
thank you, Madam Clerk, and that motion carries.
Back.
Now we will move on to Commissioner Wilkins, does that complete your report?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, it's complete. Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. We will move
Mhm.
on to the Ways and Means Committee. Commissioner Skolnick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Ways and Means Committee met on July 7th, 2020. It was recommended, and I move WM 20/07-51, 52, 53, and 54.
Support.
Thank you. We do have a motion by Commissioner Skolnick, a second by Commissioner Nash. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
Madam Chair, I have a comment if I may, or.
Yes, Mr. Laring.
Yeah, so on item number 20-07-50, again, I am not going to support this motion until that we can get these payments isolated. Anything over $100,000, I would like to see those separately so that we can debate these payments. Anything over $100,000, we can debate them separately.
Thank you, Commissioner Laring, for your information. Anyone else have a comment? Question? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Snyder. Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Vice Chair Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
No on 51, yes on 52, 53, and 54.
thank you. Commissioner Mahoney, Commissioner Mahoney, are you unmuted?
Yes.
And yes on the motion for the 4 Ways and Means?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick,
Yes.
Chairman Hughes,
Yes,
8 yes, 1 no on 51, 9 yes on 52, 53, and 54.
thank you, Madam Clerk. That motion, the motion carries. Next, Commissioner Skolnick, do you have
Oh.
anything else for us today?
Sorry, Madam Chair, that completes my report. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Thank you, sir. No problem at all. Now we will move on to the chairman's report and the liaison reports. Are there any committee liaisons that have a report for us today?
Yes.
Go ahead, Marcia.
Yeah, the Health West, at the Health West Board, we also passed the resolution to declare racism a public health crisis. And they had already passed that, and they're already implementing, they're already reviewing their policies. And they would be a good model for our county.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Seeing none, we will move on to the citizen appointments and reappointments. The Airport Development Committee appointments, the terms will last through 12/31/2022. Cindy Larson from the Chamber of Commerce, Robert Gustafson from the public sector, Rich Houdeman from private sector, and Dave Kindle from the private sector. I would like a motion and support, please.
So
Make
moved.
that motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Foster, second by Commissioner Nash. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Wilkins,
I think she left somehow.
okay. Vice Chair Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Mahoney, Commissioner
Muted.
Mahoney, thank you. Commissioner Nash,
He's muted.
Yes.
Commissioner-
Commissioner Wilkins is back on.
Okay. Commissioner Wilkins, do you vote yes on the 4 appointments to the airport? Thank you very much. Commissioner Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Chairman Hughes,
Yes.
9 yes.
Thank you, and that motion carries. Next, I'd like to let everybody know that the Muskegon County Youth Fair will be held July 30th through the 25th. I'm not sure that that is still the way it is going to be with the new resolutions from the governor. But as far as I know, that is true. The theme this year will be County Christmas at the Fair. The Muskegon area kids have been working hard all year for this, so I do hope that it does be able to continue. They're going to be showing their products and their hard work in the community. Also on July.
Do we know, Chairman Hughes, do we know what precautions they're taking? That seems kind of out of sync with what's happening everywhere else.
It does. I really expected it to be canceled just for the health and well-being of the children, but
Right.
I don't know what's going on there, and I don't know what precautions they have either.
Madam Chair, I can speak to that if you would like.
Thank you. Please go ahead, Commissioner Laring.
So they have canceled all of the grandstand events. They have canceled the carnival and all of the beer tents and concerts that they were planning to have. They are not doing marketing. They just want a venue. They're allowing the public to come in, but they're not doing any advertising. They're trying to limit the amount of public that will actually engage in it by canceling all of the grandstand events, but they do want a venue for the children to be able to compete and show the animals they've been raising. So they're really trying to minimize the public interaction in this event.
Thank you, Commissioner Laring, and I definitely do appreciate that. I do know a young man that is autistic, and he spends all year raising chickens to show at that event. So I know how important it is in his life. So I do appreciate all the hard work they've done to make it so the kids can at least show their accomplishments throughout the year. Also on July 25th, we have the Community Paddle. It's a world record edition. It will be held from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Fisherman's Landing. It's free to anyone who, with a paddle craft, kayak, canoe, paddle boat, or rowboat. Our illustrious administrator may be out there on his kayak, just giving it a whirl.
Yeah, maybe I will too.
I think I'll bring my camera then.
Not when I'm getting in or out of it.
Oh, no, certainly not.
Madam Chair,
Paddling.
Yes.
they're also at that community paddle, hoping to spot the great northern white-bellied.
Be well.
And so that means you're going to be there. Is that what you're saying, Commissioner Skolnick?
Well, I might be mistaken for this.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That completes my report, and we will move on to the administrator's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I plan on being at that event, but I hope not to
good.
fall in, right?
I hope not to.
I'm going to go back. It's not on my list there, but I'm going to go back to the course and public safety. The commissioners during this meeting asked me to go in and see if there's any other departments that would qualify under the CPS 20-07-29, which read to approve the application of grant funding pay hazard pay premium to eligible first responders. Well, Deputy Administrator researched this, and I would like her to give the board an update on what she found out.
Beth, you need to unmute.
Sorry. Yeah, Beth Dick, Assistant County Administrator, Director of Finance. I did research the Senate Bill 690. And as far as hazard pay goes, there does not appear to be any other county employees that would qualify under the different areas of the Senate bill. There is a section that does address health officials, but it appears based on the language that it's has to be, they have to be employees of the state of Michigan. So that would not qualify any of our public health or Health West employees. But there are many other sections of Senate Bill 690 that don't really specify related to hazard pay, but there is a lot of other funding associated with this Senate bill that we could apply for. And one of them has a due date of this Friday, where we can apply for public safety and public health payroll reimbursement for the month of April and May. There's $200 million available that we could apply for that would definitely help offset those expenses that we've incurred for public safety and public health payroll during the months of April and May. And there are some other components in the Senate Bill 690. I know that District Court has looked through, and there's a section on landlord tenant expenses where they've researched it and found that there's a possibility of covering some of the costs of some of their employees through that section. So, and I get notifications weekly of different grants that are eligible that we could apply for, but some of them have very quick turnaround times in order to apply and meet deadlines, specifically the one that's due this Friday. So I don't know if the board would be willing to consider a motion to give us some staff some authorization to apply for some of these grants, COVID-related grants that would be able to help offset some of our costs and assist with our budget.
I would move that.
I'll support.
We have a motion by Commissioner Javi Wright and a second by Commissioner Mahoney. Beth, I think this is an excellent idea. I'm really glad to be able to do that. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns?
So, Madam Chair, I have a comment.
Yes, Zach, go ahead.
So we can only, as a commission, in a full board meeting, we can only vote to move it back to committee time.
I think this is an entirely different situation. It's not something that will be underneath a committee. I think I will allow it this time.
Got to suspend the board rules we just created.
Commissioner, Madam Chair.
Yes.
This is coming under my report. I think in attorneys, Mike Homer is with us on this, but my interpretation is it's under my report. I'm bringing it forward as a motion.
That's true. And
The immediate deadline.
Yes, you're right. That does supersede. Okay, perfect. That will work wonderfully. Are there any other comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Vice Chair Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
No.
Commissioner Mahoney,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Chairman Hughes,
Yes.
8 yes, 1 no.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk, and that motion carries.
Thank you. On item A there, future committee and board meetings. We did some research on this and what other counties are trying to do. It's about half and half. Half of them are trying to hold some type of a meeting in a way where some of the commissioners are showing up and some are not, but we're all restricted to the 10 people in a room. So that's why half of them are still doing the same thing that we're doing here today. So our staff reached out to the college and they are not allowing any meetings to take place over there. The MATS has caused troubles with recording and with when you have more than one iPad or more than one computer running at the same time, there's a lot of static feedback there. So to update the board, we have not found a facility, a room, unless it's outside, that would meet our needs. That would be better than Zoom that we're doing today. So at this point, with the governor's extension as of today to the state of emergency is extended to the 11th, I believe is the date. I guess it's not a motion, but at this point, I'd still recommend we do Zoom until we do find a facility or the limit of 10 is expanded to greater than probably 20, 25.
I agree with that.
I do too. I think
Yeah.
that is an administrative decision, Mark. I think you can go ahead and make that. It's in the best interest of the county. We really don't have any other option right now.
We really don't.
Just another
Go ahead, Marcia.
factor. Yeah, it's actually more comfortable without a mask in my home than it is with a mask in an office. So, and we have to wear masks inside.
Right, and with that executive order, we have to, right?
Right.
I agree.
Okay,
And hopefully, hopefully with Kathy Moore's information, we will be moving in the right direction shortly. But until then, better safe than sorry.
yes, and as we know, the numbers are going up, so we need to be careful for
Yep.
everyone. The update on the Senate Bill 698, Beth really gave that on the funding as well. We don't have anything more to report except the deadlines is this Friday, so we'll be getting those in. And we'll update you as they are awarded. And then the last one is executive orders. And I put this on here because just to catch all really as to the latest executive orders. And just as of today, we received another 3, 4, 5. We got 5 executive orders out today. So they are in your emails. And again, the last one was the executive order for emergency declaration, which was extended to August 11th. Yes. So that ends my report unless someone has any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I'd also like to thank you for following through and making sure that our municipalities are updated when the county commissioners are with our reports from the governor and any updates. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now we will move on to old business. Is there any old business to come before this committee?
Madam Chair, may I?
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Foster.
Approximately 3 or 4 weeks ago, I asked administration to get a cost breakdown on senior millage, what we're paying administration and cost to operate this. Has there been any headway on that, Mark?
I would refer to Director Moore, if she's still on. I know that they were looking at those numbers, Commissioner.
I'm good. I can wait. I wanted to get a breakdown.
Yep, so I will get that to you, Commissioner. This year, of course, will be paid year to date and maybe projected throughout the end of the year, but I will definitely get that to you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Could you make sure other commissioners get that?
Yes, I will. And we do have a senior millage work session scheduled for August. I don't know the exact date on top of my head, but I'm working on that presentation as well.
Thank you, Kathy. I do have something that kind of follows along in that for old business. The senior millage offered to the municipalities a certain amount of funding for the municipalities to use in their community. Well, Muskegon Township has dedicated some of those funds for senior meals and things like that, and they're having a little trouble getting that money to them. We thought that it would actually go back to senior resources and they would send the check to the organizations that we had chosen, and instead they said it has to come from the county. Well, the municipalities need to get that money so that they can use it and get it out in the community. So we need to somehow expedite that situation so that the municipalities can use the money that they were given but didn't actually go to them yet. So I don't know what we need to do there, Beth or Kathy, but we need to get that money to the municipalities so they can spend it.
Absolutely, Commissioner Hughes. So, due to COVID, we did have a delay because of some closures, but public health was still here and we were still working, but we did not, we thought those municipalities were closed. Muskegon Charter Township, I actually have the check in hand. I sent notification to Jennifer Hodges yesterday, and she's going to get back with me to let me know if she'd like me to put that in the mail or if she'd like to pick it up or have me drop it off.
Okay, I will contact her and I'll tell you what, Kathy, we will just plan on picking that up. Either Jennifer or myself will pick that check up from you tomorrow so we can get that check out to the people in our township. How about that?
Awesome. So that's fine. I have it in hand. Just ring the doorbell. We can bring the check out to the door, or if you come in, you'll have to answer a series of questions.
That's okay.
And have a mask. Thank you.
One of us will get it we'll come with our questions and our mask.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Madam Chair.
This is Commissioner Mahoney. I believe
Yes.
Dalton Township is having the same issue in terms of trying to get cash for their particular program. So if she would look into that, it'd be helpful as well.
Yes, I am happy to report that thanks to County Administrator who helped us expedite that check, Tony Barnes picked that check on Monday.
Yeah, good.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not always in the loop.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir. Go ahead,
I
Commissioner.
also had, you just sparked an idea and I wanted to ask our health director. Is it possible that if municipalities are getting that money and they have not come up with a program, can they designate those funds to be for COVID testing strictly for seniors?
Yes, so the way it works is that their governing board would have to approve the use of those dollars. And then the county commissioner that within that jurisdiction would approve it. But yes, they have more flexibility than a grant. This is the board authorized an allocation, sort of like the state allocates money to public health, we'll say for communicable disease. We can use that as long as we use it for the purpose allocated. And that's the same with the municipalities. The condition is that their governing body, whether it's the council or board, has to approve it. And then our county commissioner has to endorse the plan as well.
Yeah, I just thought because that being the most vulnerable age group, and we're running somewhat shorter of locales, that would be a great way those municipalities can support the seniors if they don't have anything else already planned.
Very good idea, Commissioner Nash. Thank you very much. Anyone else under old business? Seeing none, how about new business? Anybody with some new business? Seeing none, is there any public comment? This can be on anything. Is there any public comment?
I would like to make a public comment.
Yes, go right ahead, Rachel.
Thank you. Rachel Novak here. I had addressed the county commissioners in an earlier meeting about Pioneer Park and the leaf buildup. And I had also sent subsequent emails to all of the commissioners, have not heard back from them, but wanted to follow up that A, I'm still concerned about it, and B, I wondered if anything was being done about the leaf dam at Pioneer Park.
I don't believe that Bob Lukens is on today. He is in charge of the parks. Bob, are you on?
I am, Commissioner.
Okay. Do you have any kind of information for Rachel?
Yes, we received 3 proposals back from engineering firms that were going to go out to the park and conduct an investigation on the washout that happened there on May 18th. So we will be moving forward with that and conducting that investigation.
Thank you. We normally don't answer a question in public comment, but this has been more than one question on the same situation. I felt obligated to at least, get some information out there. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes. Anyone else for public comment?
Is James Kelly from MSU Extension.
Go ahead, James.
I just wanted to check in. I sent an email today with a copy of a quarterly update for the commissioners, which I hope you will take the time to read through. Sent it to Mark Heisenbach, and he will forward that on to you. Just giving you an overview of our activity over the last 3 months, focusing initially on our statewide response and then funneling down into what we've been doing on a more regional level, and then finally in Muskegon County. So encourage you to read that and also to forward that on to anyone that you think might have some interest. Highlights the work of Frank Cox and his capacity building and career exploration. So he continues to do programming through Muskegon High School with their 21st Century Community Learning Center using Google Classes. It focuses on some of our community nutrition programs. We have started actually some new programs during this isolation period using virtual programming, of course. So new relationship with the Women's Veterans Center, where we're doing some health and nutrition classes. We're working with Muskegon Heights Public Schools, planning some new classes in the new school year, we hope. and then also a new relationship with Jefferson Street Community Garden in Muskegon Heights. And I want to highlight also the work of Wade Sayers, who is our food safety educator in Muskegon County. The food safety team has obviously been a very popular source of information over the last 3 months, and they have reached out to and provided information that's gone out to literally thousands of folks through videos, through print materials, social media. Some of their information has actually gone out now to 44 states, 75 counties across Michigan, and 21 countries. So we're seeing our reach expand significantly as we post more and more content online. And finally, quickly, 4-H, we have continued to try and provide, and we are providing a lot of online programming for the youth to get involved with. There is a little online programming burnout going on right now, so that's a challenge. We are working with the County Fair Association to provide support as we can, but at this point they are moving ahead, as you heard, through their modified program. 20 out of 83 counties are now doing a modified program, or they have canceled their fairs entirely, which might be of interest for you to know. We are open in our Muskegon office 3 half days a week for essential business only, by appointment only, and I will leave that at that for the moment. Thanks.
Thank you, James. I encourage all the county commissioners, when we get that, to forward that onto our municipalities. There's a lot of great things that our constituents would be interested in, and so would the people from the townships and cities and villages. So thank you. Is there any other public comment? Any other public comment?
Can I go?
Sure, go ahead.
Jennifer Hodges, Supervisor, Muskegon Charter Township. Chairman Hughes, I just want to thank you for the follow-up regarding our senior millage funds. I did email Director Moore back with some follow-up questions, so hopefully she has a chance to respond to that. And Commissioner Hughes, if you wouldn't mind picking that check up and delivering it, that would be really helpful to us.
I will be happy to.
In the future, I would maybe suggest or ask that the process be a little bit spelled out a little bit more clearly. I guess there was some confusion on all of our ends, and perhaps if the funding, the check is coming directly to each municipality, maybe sending that out with the expectation of reporting at the end of the fiscal year, and perhaps money comes back if we can't account for it or if we didn't distribute it ourselves. Some sort of system like that would be very beneficial, or more clear direction on how it works would be helpful in the future. So, but that is it. Thank you for clearing everything up, and I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Marcia, did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted, I'm glad that Jennifer picked up on that, because I had some of the same concerns with that money, that the accountability, we just need to know how it's being spent, and so that we can continuously improve the program.
Perfect. Anyone else?
Are we in public comment?
Pardon me?
Board comment?
Pardon me?
Are we in public comment or final board comment?
We're in public comment right now, but I don't see any more public. So
Chris
we will.
Kayala is on.
Oh, Chris, go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm kind of concerned about the resolution that was just passed concerning racism as a public health crisis. I'm concerned that it wasn't shown to the public at all, and that there was no ability for the public to understand what was going on or what the commissioners had thought about it. And I'm also concerned that the commissioners didn't have any public discussion about it. So in reading the other resolutions from Ingham and Eaton counties, I'm also wondering the resolutions that they made, the actions to go forward, how they could actually benefit the county in their case and in our case as well. So I think it would be good to know that something's coming up if the board actually wanted the public to know, and I think they should have plenty of time to look and to see the things that the commissioners are doing.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Anyone else? Anyone else on public comment? Seeing none, we will move on to final board comments. Anyone with final board comments?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marcia.
Yeah, to the previous gentleman, I couldn't catch his name. That document was in the board packet for the committee meeting for the Human Services Committee. So it's, you know, the public has access to that as well as we do. So it wasn't treated any differently than any other resolution or any other item that we vote on. So.
Thank you, Commissioner. I was going to repeat the same thing. It was a week ago, it was on our Human Services Committee. So anyone else?
I
with
wanted
final board
to
comments?
add on to that. I wanted to add on to that too, that we,
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I think he might have missed that meeting. Can you hear me?
I think it's possible he did, yes.
Okay. I think that the gentleman might have missed that meeting because I know we had an in-depth meeting on that. But I also wanted to just put out there that we had a previous meeting before that encompassed our chairwoman and myself, Commissioner Wilkins, and some other department heads and community leaders that discussed that before we even brought it to the committee. So just didn't want people to think that this is something that came to the board by happenstance.
But there wasn't anything in the board minutes about it.
Our board minutes are very brief. Madam Chair, I also wanted to commend our administrative team for looking into the Senate Bill 690 and researching that to find some funding that we may be eligible for, and also taking a look at all the different grants that are coming down because of the COVID that we can look at. I think that's going to be a big help to this county if we can win some of those grants.
Excellent. Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
go ahead.
Charles just sparked a memory last night at Cazenovia. Their fire chief actually asked me if there was any part of that Senate Bill 690. And I'm asking the administrator, if they come across anything that could benefit fire departments, could you pass that out to the municipalities?
Yes, we can. We'll send that out. Their deadlines, they have to get that stuff in by Friday.
Yeah, they realize that.
Okay. Yes, we can.
Thank you.
Any other comments, board
Madam
comments?
Chair, I do have a comment if I may.
Yes, Commissioner Leary, go right ahead.
So I do not agree with this resolution. I don't believe that this current health crisis that we have has anything to do with racism. Secondly, I think we can all agree that the idea of systemic racism doesn't happen overnight. It's a long-term chain of events. And I would suggest that this is a Democrat board, a Democrat county. So if this has been going on for a period of time, we know where the blame lays. So the Republicans have not controlled this county since the 80s. So if we have systemic racism here, it lies directly on your shoulders.
Thank you, Commissioner Leary, for your opinion. Anyone else? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Motion and support. Madam Clerk, could I have a roll call vote to adjourn the meeting?
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
Yeah.
Commissioner Leary.
Yes.
Commissioner Mahoney.
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick.
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins. Commissioner Wilkins.
Commissioner,
Vice
on mute, please.
Vice Chair Foster.
Yes.
And Commissioner Wilkins, did she vote to adjourn?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
she
muted
did.
though.
Okay, and Chairman Hughes.
Yes,
9 to adjourn.
and we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
So I'd like to talk to Chairman Hughes, and, the administrator on a couple of issues.
Okay.
So the first issue was at the very beginning, Chairman, you said that it was 3:01. And of course, we don't start at 3:01.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it was really
3:31. Yes.
3:31. So I just wanted to get your approval on that.
Would you change
Because I
that
knew it
for
was
me?
just an oversight, sure.
Yes, thank you
So
very
it's
much.
3:31. Okay, and then the other issue was, I was just checking because the way we get all of those resolutions from the other counties is that they make motion to see that the 82 remaining counties receive it. Was there some action that should be taken on our resolution on racism to be sent to the other 82 so they could see what the county did on that issue?
Yes,
Yeah,
I made the motion for that resolution, and I would, I thought we did
not
that.
make a motion for that in the resolution.
And I had asked Linda Sue to check because I was not at the committee meeting and I didn't see. But I know that when you made mention, Commissioner Hovey Wright, about Eaton, the way we get those is because in their meetings, they want them, they authorize them to be sent to all the others so other counties can see what they're doing.
And ours should have had that as part of the resolution, but we need to get, we need to remember to do that next time.
So I need to know.
Can we do it after the fact?
I need to know.
Not now, we can't, but we could at the next meeting, but we can't today. This meeting is closed.
Well, that's right.
So that's why I wanted to call that to your attention, because when you put it as a part of a motion on, of the resolution on anything, that's what authorizes me. And sometimes it might be an issue when where you're authorized